Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about, earlier today I was just pulling weeds in the front yard, and I did a little bit of meditation, and I did a little bit of just kind of viewing and stuff like that. Nothing too serious, just reflecting on some things personally and to do with myself, my family, and anything like that. But one of the things I really wanted to touch on is the fact that this world is changing, and I believe it's changing for the better. And one of the main things we should probably be focusing on, clearly, would be children, and teaching them early how to not manifest, but how to control their emotions. First off, that should be like step number one, like what would you call it, like rainbow class. How in a situation, even using each other, like the pupils or anything like that, as good examples, setting good examples, and say they're having a bad day, or they're going through something, or there's a disagreement with two children or something like that, and using those as examples so that they can get the message across, and how to manage emotions, how to manage what they're feeling, what the situation is, what kind of solutions they can come up with, those sort of things. And I think it's really important, because currently in today's age right now, the majority of adults over the age, I would say, of maybe 25, not all of them were taught, quite the majority of them, especially the previous generations, were not taught and not given the tools on how to cope, on how to manage their emotions and what comes out of them, not how to properly understand specific energies and how to interact with other people. They're not given these tools. They're not shown the way. They're not taught none of this stuff. So how is it that any of us could expect a better world if we don't start at the very beginning? And then another thing I wanted to touch on too is, in my opinion, past, present, and future are all playing at the same time. So if they coincide, then the whole idea of any kind of bloodline or ancestors and anything like that, that they've experienced certain things that have turned into a form of negative energy, which is a lesson that needs to be learned. So things that transpired in the past, sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts together here. Things that transpired in the past from our ancestors, passed down as almost like a tradition, and I don't mean in a good way, not the good kind of traditions. This is more like a negative kind of tradition, where things are not learned, and then they're passed to the children, and the children's children, and the children's children. And nothing ever gets learned, because most of the time they don't have the tools, or we're not taught how to learn how to heal. And I really truly believe that those that are standing up, the curse breakers, you out there that watch me right now, the ones that are not afraid to stand up, even if they feel segregated or kind of blocked off, or they've had to put their boundaries down with friends or family or anything like that, because of the fact they're speaking the truth, and they're kind of being outcasted. A lot of them would call them black sheep, but not all black sheep are willing to heal the bloodline. Not all black sheep, no offense, are willing to do the work and the shadow work and the introspection and the self-accountability. Unfortunately, some of the black sheep that are ostracized or treated a certain way because of their emotions are actually treated pretty shitty, and because they don't have coping mechanisms and they haven't learned how to heal, they just continue the negative patterns, which are lessons not learned, which is also problematic too. So unfortunately, you know, there was a lot of people in the past that didn't know how to do that. More and more now, people are learning that healing's not taboo, that you can actually talk about mental health, that it's okay, that we do have to start early in teaching the children young that they are responsible for their reaction, especially emotionally, which is really going to be a big part of the new age, whatever we're coming into right now, because there was a huge shift, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I definitely have, and I really truly believe things are going to change for the better. But most of the time, if you've ever heard of this, even when you have a cold or a flu or something, usually it's pretty much worse before it gets better. So you have the initial pre-symptoms, then you have the symptoms, you got to go through the worst phase of it, and then it gets better. All right, so if you can look at it like that, the new age that we're in now, we are responsible of teaching the children young how to cope, how to manage, and that way when they're older, they're not going to be reacting with emotion and making judgment calls, especially in high authority or something like that, based out of emotion or based out of bias or based out of any kind of negative things they never healed from when they were younger. In my opinion, this is truly important, and I don't know if you agree with me, but if you do, like, share, subscribe, share the videos. I got lots of things on my my platform. If you haven't noticed, if you're new here, thank you, welcome, thank you for joining, and thank you to all the people that have been with me since the very beginning. I love you truly, even energetically. What you send me means so much to me, and I'm gonna continue to keep going, even though, you know, it may have seemed slow at the beginning. I myself have done a lot of healing and I've made a lot of progress, in my opinion, and I'm really truly proud of myself. I hope you're proud of yourself too, because it's not always easy healing past traumas, but I can tell you it's most definitely worth it, and it forever pays off. It forever is life-changing, and you end up being who you authentically are in the end, instead of having to put any masks on to fit in the society with a lot of broken-hearted people, a lot of hurt individuals that are around hurting other people on purpose because they don't know how to cope, they don't know how to process, they don't even know how, and never were taught the tools on how to heal themselves. So it's easy to say we need to make changes, but we really have to take action, and we really have to start early. So if you are one of those parents out there that are teaching your children young how to manage their emotions and how to calm themselves and be in control of self, then congratulations. You really are a part of the collective, the general collective, and you really are tapped in. And I love you all. Thank you.